Tragedy hit the world of football yesterday where a fan suffered a cardiac arrest during a match between Sheffield Wednesday and West Bromwich Albion in the English second tier, the EFL Championship. A truly, truly tragic event that I've seen a lot of things said online about this, and to be honest, normally I would have just done a bit of an announcement video just saying, rest in peace, my condolences to friends and family of the person who passed away. This is a horrible incident in football, but I can't stay quiet on this because I have seen so much spite and vitriol online. Tragedies like this bring out the best in people and they bring out the worst in people, and I've seen some of the absolute worst things said about this online, and I can't stay quiet about it. I can't just not say anything about this because not only is this about football, and I have a duty to speak to you guys about what's happening in football, but it's happening in my country, and I just want to set the record straight with this stuff because there's a lot that we don't know about this, but there is also some things we do know, and there's a lot of misinformation online about this. So let me just start by reading out what has been said here. So, article on Sky News here. Shout out to these guys for covering it. Just to quickly go through the basics of what happened. So, a football fan has died after suffering a medical emergency at West Brom's away match at Sheffield Wednesday on Saturday. West Brom released a statement to say the team was devastated to learn of the tragic passing of one of their supporters, following a medical emergency during the game at Hillsborough. The club has made contact with the supporter's family to pass on its condolences and asked that they are allowed to grieve privately, it added. The person who this has happened to has not been named. So, and throughout all of this, I'm not going to name names of anybody who's been saying stuff out, because again, it's just not going to help. It's just going to bring more hate on them. Even if these people are saying things that are incorrect and hateful, I'm not going to fan the flames of that. I'm just here to go over what I kind of think about this and what's actually happened. The thoughts of us all will remain with the supporter's loved one at this desperately sad time. The supporter became unwell during the first half of the match, with hundreds of away fans gesturing for stewards to assist them and calls to stop the game. It was allowed to continue, however, and finish with a 3-2 win for Sheffield Wednesday. So the scoreline doesn't matter in this. That's completely irrelevant to what's going on. So yeah, this is the thing where I'm getting mixed messages. So I'm just going to read out a status here from a West Brom fan, someone who's clearly very upset by what's happened, and if this happened to me, I would be upset as well. But at the same time, I'm not going to name this person, and I'm hearing conflicting reports about what this person said. I'm not saying this person's lying here, but I've heard different things. So this person tagged Sheffield Wednesday Football Club in the post and put absolute disgrace of a club, thought they'd have learnt the lesson. Young lad collapsed and had a seizure, which then turned into a cardiac arrest. 25 minutes later for his steward to attend, then end up doing nothing, no medical staff in the upper tier, ref not stopping the game despite thousands of chants to do so and players' requests. Massive inquest needed, absolutely shameful. Hope the lad is okay. Football is irrelevant in those circumstances. Well, unfortunately, he did tragically pass away later in the day. Now, I don't know if there was medical staff there in that part of the ground. I don't know. There should be. If there wasn't, there absolutely should be. And no matter what, regardless of what anybody says, there should absolutely be an inquest and an investigation into this. I'm not saying there should be a witch hunt here. I'm just saying that people should find out what actually happened, because I'm hearing different things. Now, I'm from Sheffield. I'm not a Sheffield Wednesday fan. I'm a United fan. And I've got a lot of Wednesday supporting friends, and I've got a few people that I know went to the game and they've had their say on what happened, and they're not saying that it took 25 minutes. Apparently it took a few minutes for some people to help out. I've also heard that some people in the West Brom end, like an off-duty paramedic, was giving him CPR. I don't know what's actually happened, but what I would say is strange. And this is not blaming Sheffield Wednesday at all. For anybody says this, I'm a United fan, but I'm going to, I give people props when I should do, and I criticise people when I should do. I'm not criticising them here. But what I will say, interestingly, and this is on the referee, if anybody's at fault here, it's going to be the referee. 3 years ago, a Newcastle fan suffered a cardiac arrest while in a game against Tottenham. And I think it was literally in the first few minutes of the match. That fan collapsed. The game was then stopped. It was suspended. And that person, I think, 80 years of age at the time, and they went to hospital and they survived, thankfully. Amazing. Now, I'm not saying that the fact the game was not stopped is the reason why this person passed away. This person could have passed away anyway. We don't know. If that response time of 25 minutes from stewards is true, if it's true, and I'm not saying it's true or false, I'm just saying if it's true, That is beyond unacceptable. You know, you've got police, you've got stewards, you've got medical staff. There's always like a paramedic and ambulance, always at every ground now in England. They're always there, and they're never far away. You know, they're there for the players, but they're also there for the fans in case something happens. So that response time is absolutely shameful if it's true. I don't know if it is or no. I'm hearing mixed things. Whatever inquest comes will determine that. You know, that'll come with the truth. But the fact the game wasn't stopped is odd, I must admit. And I thought that was a thing. If there was genuinely something terrible like this happening in the crowd, then the game would have to be stopped. It's happened a few times. It's not just the Newcastle fan that happened to, but it's happened a few times, I remember, in the Premier League in recent years. So the referee's got a lot to answer for with that. And I don't know the rules of the game. I am not a referee. I am not an FA trained official or whatever. I don't know what the rules say about this because thankfully, it is such a unusual and uncommon incident that it doesn't really happen very often. And I've never known a referee not to blow the whistle and suspend the game while something like this happens. So if someone can give me an explanation as to why the referee didn't stop the game and why it was allowed to continue, please do. Whether it would have made a difference or not, we don't know. We don't know. And like I said at the start of the video, it's tragic that someone has passed away like this. It really is. And there needs to be an inquest. There needs to be an investigation. We need to establish what's happened. And just to, I'm not gonna name names here. But I'll let you guys in on a little something. I used to work at a football ground for quite a few years as a bar staff member, not a steward, not a medical professional or anything like that, obviously. What I would say, and I'm not saying this is the case for Sheffield Wednesday, and I'm not saying this was the case for yesterday, but what I do know to be a fact, a lot of football clubs, particularly those football clubs that are struggling for money, you know, Sheffield Wednesday, not flush for cash. Let's be honest here, their owner is definitely cutting corners wherever he can. They often, instead of having in-house stewards, people who are employed full-time, who have a basic wage, minimum wage, or a little bit above or whatever it is, I don't know how much stewards get paid. I can't imagine it's great pay, but, you know, instead of having in-house ones like that, they'll often go to agencies and they'll just hire them out and they'll give them the most basic of training whatsoever. And again, I don't know if this is the case with this one, but what I would say is that if they've not been trained properly, which let's just say that these clubs are not the best at that. If these people are on, let's just say the closest stewards to them were on the first day, which is possible, they get a situation like that, they might have froze, they might have made a mistake. It happens, we're all human. I'm not going to go blaming them for that, they're not responsible for that. I'm not going to say that. But what I am saying is that it's possible these people might not have been given the best opportunity to be able to respond to such a difficult situation. That's just my opinion. I don't know if it's the case. There'll be an inquest. There has to be. And like I said, the most important and tragic thing about this is someone's lost their life. You know, let's not go attacking each other online. Let's not. This isn't even about football. This is about someone who's lost their life, watching their team, doing what they love. It's awful. It's absolutely awful. And yeah, it'll all come out in the wash, and when we hear more about this, of course, I will bring you here on the Football Chronicle. But I just wanted to get my views across. I know this is a long video. I know it's a very long video, but I've got a lot of thoughts on this, and it's a horrible thing to happen. So yeah. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments below. Were you at the game? Are you a West Brom fan? Were you at the game? Who's telling the truth here? I'm hearing Wednesday fans saying that it was a few minutes of, the help was a few minutes away, and I'm hearing West Brom fans saying it was like 25 minutes, 20 minutes. What's the truth here? Sheffield Wednesday fans, West Brom fans, let us know what actually happened. Were you at the game? And of course, keep it subscribed here to the Football Chronicle. Like, share, comment, subscribe. And yeah, hopefully no more news like this. But I will let you know as soon as I have more information on this story, because it is, of course, very fresh and developing. See you soon, guys.